So I was in attendance. You can see it right there. I was in attendance for the NFL draft in Detroit. Night one only. Night two just wrapped up. Man, throughout the day, I kept seeing on my news feed, on Twitter, Facebook, that Sean Payton baited the Vikings to move up and get JJ McCarthy. Look, man, people are gonna sit there and throw shade at Sean Payton for baiting the Vikings and coming out with just basically announcing that he did that. He baited the Vikings. But in all honesty, man, thank you, Sean Payton. Thank you for forcing the hand of the Minnesota Vikings. If that's the way it worked out, hey, I'm happy that Sean Payton did what he had to do, because he's in the AFC. None of anything that he does not affect the Minnesota Vikings whatsoever. He has passionate hate towards the Vikings because he sucked against the Minnesota Vikings his whole entire coaching career. He's beaten us like 3 or 4 times. But other than that, Minnesota's owned Sean Payton, and I quite frankly, I can't stand the dude. But in this moment in time right now, I want to thank you, Sean Payton. I really want to thank you, because you made Minnesota do something that they've never done. And with Minnesota doing that, with Minnesota moving up and getting a quarterback, even though it was just one pick, we got our guy. And yeah, I know YouTube highlights aren't the way to go, because they're only going to show the highlights. They're not going to show you everything. They're not going to break down the footage of the good and the bad. But with all that being said, JJ McCarthy, when I remember watching him in a national title game, this dude was looking pretty good. And I remember telling my fiance, she's a Michigan fan, and she said, I told her, I was like, I really hope that Minnesota can draft this kid, JJ McCarthy. She said back then that if the Vikings get JJ McCarthy, she's gonna need a Vikings jersey. And it's funny because my girl, she doesn't even like the Minnesota Vikings. She likes this team right here. Let me pull her jersey up. I got this for her. It's got her last name. And yeah, it's Pittsburgh Steelers. That's what she likes. But yeah, I mean, I'm thrilled that the Minnesota Vikings got JJ McCarthy. I'm really thrilled. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where things go with the Minnesota Vikings, JJ McCarthy. I'm just excited, man. I just can't hold it back anymore. I'm hocked up on energy, natural energy, and I just can't wait for the season to get here and go Vikings. And I'm wearing what I wore to the draft yesterday, the Ivan Pace jersey, just so that way you guys can see on the picture right here on the side, that was me. I was in attendance, and I'm thrilled that I was part of history. I was in the sea of Detroit Lions. There was like nothing but Detroit Lion fans everywhere. I was all by myself. Just my right arm and my left arm, all by myself. It happened on a Thursday. Everybody that I know has to work. You know, I surround myself with mature individuals. I only have a select few of friends, and they all had to work because it's a Thursday. It's a worker night. I requested Thursday off from work like a month and a half ago, just so I can have this day, this weekend, to celebrate the new quarterback coming in Minnesota. JJ McCarthy's going to win the Minnesota Vikings their first Super Bowl. I know he is. I got confidence in this kid, man. I really like the way he carries himself. He's a beast. Skull McCarthy, baby. Let's go. Let's get him. Let's get a national title under your belt already. We got one of those for JJ McCarthy under the Michigan Wolverines. And we're about to get you a Super Bowl. You're about to bring us a Super Bowl, McCarthy. Let's go get it, man. Let's go Vikings.